Sonic's Green Hills Adventure Season 6 Chapter 20, A Fun Day Out. The next morning, the sun broke through the Storybrooke clouds with an almost celebratory brightness. The damp smell of the rain was still there, but it didn't feel threatening anymore. Inside the bed and breakfast, the atmosphere was a complete 180 from the night before. Marina sat at the large dining table, her hands moving with the grace of a master jeweler. Scattered around her were silver wires, pliers, and the 5 shimmering Leviathan scales. Annika was leaning over her shoulder, fascinated, while Silver sat across from them, using his psychokinesis to hold small pieces of wire in place so Marina could crimp them.
Almost done,
Marina said, her tongue poking out in concentration as she tightened a loop.
I want these to be sturdy. If we're gonna be running, jumping, and, knowing you guys, getting into scraps, these can't just fall off.
Shadow walked into the room, and he wasn't the brooding silhouette from the night before. He looked refreshed, his posture upright and his expression lively. He grabbed a piece of toast from a plate on the table and sat right next to Silver.
Those look excellent, Marina,
Shadow said, his voice warm and grounded. He had a bright, energetic spark in his eyes, though if you looked closely, there was a protective glint that hadn't been there before. A silent vow that the cave stayed in the past.
Though I hope you made the cord adjustable. I don't want to get choked by my own magic charm mid-spin.
Trust me, Shadow, I thought of that.
Marina laughed, holding up a finished piece. Sonic practically slid into the room, his green eyes scanning the table.
Is that them? The anti-soggy charms?
The Leviathan scales.
Marina corrected with a wink. She stood up and beckoned them closer.
Come here, you 4. Let's get these on.
She started with Annika, fastening the silver-framed scale around her neck.
There, one for the littlest sister. It feels like a tiny ice cube.
Annika giggled, bouncing on her heels. Next was Silver, who bowed his head slightly so Marina could slip the cord over his quills.
It's weirdly calming.
Silver noted, tapping the scale.
Like the static in the back of my head just got muted.
Then came Shadow. He didn't just stand there. He helped Marina with the clasp, grinning as the cool metal hit his chest.
It's a solid weight,
He said, rolling his shoulders.
I feel ready for anything. Good work, Marina, truly.
Finally, Marina turned to Sonic. She lingered a bit longer, her eyes softening as she fastened the charm over his heart.
No more caves, Sonic.
She whispered. Sonic took a deep breath, feeling the protective hum of the scale. The loop from yesterday felt a million miles away.
No more caves. Just clear skies and fast times.
He looked around at his siblings and his girlfriend, his mischievous grin returning.
So, since we're officially waterproof and we don't have a concert today, what are we doing? I'm thinking we need a serious fun day to shake off the gloom and doom of yesterday.
I'm in.
Shadow said immediately, his voice full of life.
In fact, I challenge you to a race to the town square. Winner gets to pick the first activity. And no, Sonic, you don't get a head start just because you're the favorite.
Sonic gasped, offended but loving the challenge.
Favorite? I'm the protagonist, but fine, you're on, Shads.
Silver stood up, his teal aura glowing brightly.
Don't think you're leaving me behind. I can't run as fast, but I can certainly take a shortcut through the air.
Annika cheered, grabbing Marina's hand.
Can we go to the arcade after? And get those giant milkshakes?
We can do whatever we want.
Marina laughed, catching the infectious energy.
Today is for us.
Tom and Maddie watched from the kitchen, leaning against each other. The sight of their kids laughing and bickering over race rules was the best medicine they could have asked for.
They're gonna be okay.
Tom whispered, a proud smile on his face.
They're more than okay.
Maddie replied.
They're a force of nature.
The family is heading out into Storybrooke for a day of games, food, and sibling bonding. The streets of Storybrooke were soon filled with a blur of blue, black, silver, and gold as the group swept toward the town square. Shadow was leading the pack, his expression open and full of life, a stark contrast to the hollowed-out version of himself from the night before. They skidded to a halt near the clock tower, where Emma, Henry, Regina, and the rest of the town's heroes were already gathered. looking surprised but relieved to see the energy shift. Emma grinned as she saw them approach.
Whoa, looks like someone got their spark back. You guys look like you're ready to take on the world, or at least the arcade.
Sonic skidded to a stop next to her.
Better. We're taking on the whole town. Today is officially a no Robotnik zone. We're going for maximum fun, minimum stress.
Shadow nodded to Henry with a grounded, confident smile.
The hedgehog speaks the truth. We've spent too much time looking over our shoulders. Today, we look forward.
Joey ran up with Crystal, Jessica, and the rest of the crew.
Wait for us. You guys are too fast. Veronica, Jack, you guys okay?
Veronica was panting slightly but laughing.
Yeah, just tell Zero to stop trying to phase through my legs while I'm running.
Zero let out a playful bark, his ghostly tail wagging as he circled Sally and Midnight. Zim crossed his arms, looking at the crowd of humans.
This fun you speak of, is it a form of Earthling psychological warfare? If so, Zim shall be the victor. Gur, prepare the... Wait, where's Gur?
Gaz sighed, looking up from her game slave.
He's already at the ice cream stand, Zim. Be quiet.
Henry stepped forward, his eyes bright.
Wait, is everyone hanging out? Can we join? We were just heading to Granny's, but an arcade takeover sounds way better.
Regina raised an eyebrow, though a small smile played on her lips.
I suppose a mayor's duties can wait an hour or two. Though if Zim tries to conquer the skee-ball machine, I'm putting him in an enchanted sleep.
Dib adjusted his glasses.
Trust me, Regina, I'll keep an eye on him. I'm used to it. Besides, Sapphire promised to show me some of her planet's tech if it doesn't involve being probed.
Sapphire laughed.
No promises, Dib, but I think we should start with the multiplayer racing games. I want to see if Shadow is as fast with a joystick as he is on his feet.
Shadow chuckled, a competitive glint in his eyes.
Don't test me, Sapphire. I don't lose. Not at racing, and definitely not at life.
Marina wrapped an arm around Sonic's waist.
I don't know, Shadow. Crystal and Jessica are pretty mean at the dance pad games. You might meet your match there. Oh, it's on. We'll make it a team challenge. Band members versus everyone else.
Sonic high-fived Joey.
You're on! Silver, Alanika, you guys ready to show these humans how the angels and their friends roll?
Silver was levitating slightly in excitement.
I've been practicing my claw machine skills. I'm gonna win Annika every plushie in that building.
Yay! And then we get the giant milkshakes with the sprinkles.
Maddie and Tom walked up behind them, joined by Snow and David.
It's so good to see them like this. After yesterday, they needed this.
We all did, Snow. Storybrooke feels like a real home when there's laughter in the streets instead of sirens.
Shadow turned back to the whole group, his voice booming with a lively, grounded authority.
All right, the destination is the arcade. Last one there pays for the first round of tokens, and since I'm feeling generous, I'll give the humans a 5-second head start.
5 seconds? Shadow, you're too kind. Let's go!
The entire crowd, hedgehogs, humans, ghosts, and aliens, burst into motion, a chaotic laughing wave of friends heading toward the heart of the town. For one afternoon, the darkness of the past and the threats of the future were silenced by the sheer, unbridled joy of being together. The group is descending upon the arcade for an afternoon of chaos and gaming. The neon lights of the arcade buzzed with energy, casting vibrant pinks and blues over the crowd as they swarmed the back corner. The centerpiece of the room was the Dance Dance Revolution, Extreme Cabinet, its stage glowing under the weight of the challengers. Crystal stepped up first, clicking her heels against the metal pads.
All right, boys. The band is officially on the clock. Shadow, Marina, get up here. Let's show them why we're the ones on the posters.
Shadow grinned broadly as he hopped onto the left pad, his movements fluid and full of life.
I hope you've been practicing, Crystal. I don't do half speed, and don't think I'm going easy on you just because we're in public.
Marina stepped onto the right pad with a playful hair flip.
He's right. When the music starts, the grounded Shadow disappears, and the ultimate dancer takes over. Ready, Joey? You're on the buttons.
Joey mashed the start button with a grin.
Setting it to supernova difficulty. Don't trip.
The music kicked in, a high BPM techno track that filled the arcade. Shadow moved with a precision that was almost terrifying. his feet a blur of black and red as he hit every arrow with a rhythmic stomp. He wasn't just playing, he was performing, spinning in place and catching the beat with a wink toward Sonic, who was cheering from the sidelines. Sonic was hopping up and down, pump-fisting the air.
Look at him go! That's my brother, Go Shads! Show him the air flare!
Shadow was laughing over the music.
Watch the screen, Sonic. I'm about to double the score.
Jessica shouted from the crowd.
Marina, don't let him show you up. Use the mermaid grace.
Marina was a whirlwind of motion. Her movements more fluid and dance-like compared to Shadow's sharp military precision strikes. She flowed across the pads, her silver scale necklace catching the neon lights as she kept pace with the insane beat. Crystal was huffing but keeping a perfect combo.
You guys are ridiculous. How do you have this much energy?
Shadow was doing a one-handed freeze on the pad while hitting an arrow with his foot.
It's called life, Crystal. You should try it. Come on, keep up.
Regina was standing next to Emma, watching with an arched eyebrow.
I must admit the black one has rhythm. I almost find it irritating how good he is at everything.
Emma laughed.
Admit it, Regina, you're impressed. Look at Henry. He's trying to copy Shadow's footwork back there.
Henry was indeed in the back, trying to mimic the fast-paced steps on the carpet, while Jack, Veronica, and Sally were clapping in time with the music. Even Zim was staring, his eyes wide.
His legs! They move like the pistons of an Urkin harvester. Tim, observe the agility. We must study this groove if we are to counter it.
It's just dancing, Zim. Relax and enjoy the music.
Zero was floating in circles above the machine, barking in sync with the heavy bass, while Midnight and Sapphire were cheering for Marina. Veronica and Sally were trying to start a Blue Angels chant, despite it being a casual day out.
Come on, Shadow! Finish it with the chaos spin!
As the song reached its final frantic crescendo, Shadow and Marina hit a simultaneous double jump, landing perfectly on the final arrows just as the screen flashed perfect. 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 In giant gold letters. The arcade erupted in cheers. Shadow stepped off the platform, breathless and laughing, wiping a bead of sweat from his forehead. He immediately pulled Sonic into a side hug, his energy high and his spirit completely unburdened.
Top that, Hedgehog. I believe that's a new high score for the Storybrooke record books.
Man, I'm not even mad. That was epic. I think you actually broke the machine's internal processor.
Marina was leaning against Shadow, catching her breath.
I think my legs are made of jelly, but that was worth it. Who's next? Jessica? Veronica? Don't be shy.
After that? No way! We're going to the air hockey tables. I have a better chance of beating Jack than I do of matching those moves.
The vibe is electric, and the Neurobotnik rule is holding strong. Shadow didn't even wait for an answer. He grabbed a handful of tokens from the bucket Joey was holding and tossed them toward the Sonic basketball hoops, his eyes sparkling with that trademark competitive fire.
Actually, move aside, Joey.
Shadow said with a playful shove of the shoulder.
I want to see if the fastest thing alive can actually aim under pressure. Sonic, oops, right now, I'm going to humiliate you in front of the mayor.
Sonic let out a dramatic gasp, his grin widening until it practically split his face.
Oh, it is on! I hope you're ready to see nothing but net, Shads! I don't need chaos powers to sink three-pointers!
The two of them stepped up to the side-by-side machines, and the rest of the gang crowded around, sensing a legendary showdown. Henry and Killian were leaning over the barrier to get a better view, while Jack and Veronica started taking mock bets with Crystal and Jessica.
3, 2, 1, go!
The buzzers went off, and the air was suddenly filled with the rapid-fire thud-thud-thud of basketballs hitting the backboards. Sonic was a blur of blue, his arms moving so fast he looked like a windmill, while Shadow's approach was more calculated. Every shot he took was a perfect arc, swishing through the net with terrifying consistency. Shadow was grinning as he drained his 10th shot in a row.
You're rushing it, Blue. Quality over quantity.
Quantity is my quality. Look at the score!
The red digital numbers were climbing frantically. Zim pushed his way to the front, squinting at the machinery.
The small blue one is cheating. He is defying the laws of gravity with that wrist flick. Grr, take notes. Wait, Grr. Stop eating the prize tickets.
Grr was covered in long strips of red tickets.
I don't me.
Gaz was not looking up from her screen.
He's an idiot.
Marina leaned against the side of the machine, laughing as she cheered them both on.
Come on, guys. If the score hits 500, the machine gives out the Golden Chow plushie. Anika wants that one.
Annika was jumping up and down.
Go, Sonic! Go, Shadow! Get the chow!
Regina watched the display, actually looking amused for once.
I've never seen anyone take a child's arcade game this seriously. It's almost endearing.
That's just how they are, Regina. They do everything at 110%. It's why we love them.
As the final 10 seconds ticked down, the intensity reached a fever pitch. Silver was accidentally using a tiny bit of psychokinesis to keep the balls from bouncing off the rim. Not for either brother specifically, but just because he wanted to see the jackpot light go off.
Last shot! Watch this!
He threw the ball behind his back.
Not so fast.
Shadow grabbed 2 balls at once and sank them both just as the buzzer wailed. The machine went into a frenzy, lights flashing, sirens blaring, and a literal waterfall of tickets began pouring out of the slot. The score display flickered before settling on a dead tie. 550 to 550. Sonic was panting, leaning on the machine.
A tie? Really? I was robbed!
Shadow wiped his face, looking triumphant and genuinely happy.
A tie means we both win, which means we get the Golden Chow for Anika. I'd call that a successful mission.
He reached down, gathered up the massive pile of tickets, and handed the whole wad to Annika, who hugged them like they were made of gold. Midnight and Sapphire clapped, while Sally and Midnight started debating which prize was the best value. Sonic straightened his necklace, his gaze turning warm as he looked at his family and friends.
Man, I needed this. Best day ever.
Shadow clapped a hand on Sonic's shoulder, his grounded, protective energy radiating outward.
It's not over yet. I heard a rumor that Granny's has a fresh batch of chili fries with our names on them. And since we tied, Joey pays.
Hey, how did I get dragged into this?
The sun is starting to set over Storybrooke, and the group is heading to Granny's for a massive dinner. Granny's Diner was never meant to hold this many people. The booths were overflowing, and David and Killian had spent the last 10 minutes dragging every spare chair and stool into the center of the room to create one massive makeshift banquet table. The noise was deafening, a chaotic symphony of clinking silverware, bursts of laughter, and the high-pitched chatter of Gur trying to eat a napkin. Granny slammed massive tray of chili fries onto the table.
All right, listen up. I've got 24 orders of fries, 6 triple-stacked burgers, and something called a Zim special, which I'm pretty sure is just a plate of burnt onions. Eat fast or get out.
Zim was poking an onion with a fork.
The female elder provides the fuel of champions. Dib, observe. My digestive tract shall conquer this earth grease.
It's just an onion, Zim. You're not conquering anything but heartburn.
Sonic grabbed a chili fry midair as Shadow passed the plate.
Thanks, Shads. Man, look at this. The whole gang, the whole town. Everything is finally coming together, and we are only just getting started.
Shadow leaned back in his chair, looking relaxed and grounded as he handed a burger to Marina.
Don't jinx it, Sonic. Just enjoy the calories. Joey, you promised to pay, remember? I see you eyeing the exit.
Joey groaned as he pulled out his wallet.
I'm paying. But Crystal and Jessica definitely ordered the most expensive things on the menu.
Hey, dancing burns a lot of energy. Besides, Veronica and Jack shared a milkshake that was practically a gallon. Charge it to the band expenses.
Marina laughed, her head resting on Sonic's shoulder.
We don't have a band account, Crystal. We have a jar under the sink in the guest house.
Well, whatever is in that jar, it was worth it for that arcade victory. Sally, pass the ketchup?
Only if Midnight stops trying to hide Zim's fork every time he looks away.
Midnight had a mischievous grin.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Across the table, Emma and Regina were sharing a booth with Maddie and Tom. The adults were watching the chaos with a mix of exhaustion and genuine warmth. Regina took a sip of cider.
I had forgotten what it was like to have a diner full of whatever this is. It's loud, it's messy, and it's completely ridiculous.
It's a family, Regina. A big, weird, interdimensional family. Honestly, I wouldn't trade the noise for anything.
Though I might trade Zero for a quieter dog, he's currently trying to phase through the table to get to my bacon.
Killian chuckled, leaning back.
The ghost pot plus taste, mate. Can't blame him for wanting a bit of the captain's breakfast for dinner.
Sonic looked around, his green eyes bright.
Hey, Silver, Anika, how are those milkshakes? You haven't said a word in 5 minutes.
Silver's face was covered in whipped cream.
I'm trying to figure out the physics of how this straw works with this much chocolate. It's a miracle of engineering.
It's just yummy, Silver. Look, I got the golden chow. He gets to sit at the table too.
Shadow looked at the group, his voice dropping to a warm, sincere tone.
It's good to see everyone like this. After yesterday, it's a reminder of why we do what we do. It's not just about stopping the doctor. It's about keeping moments like this safe.
Exactly. As long as we've got each other, a few bad memories, and some water don't stand a chance.
I agree, but I shall still destroy you all at Skee-Ball tomorrow!
Zim, shut up and eat your onion.
The dinner is reaching its peak, and for once, there's nothing but good food and better company. The chaos at Granny's reached a fever pitch just as a familiar, rhythmic humming started coming from Sonic's quills. The interdimensional link was buzzing. Sonic's mouth was half full of chili fries.
Whoops! Incoming call! Someone clear a spot between the ketchup and the napkins!
Shadow reached over, clearing a space on the crowded table with a sweep of his arm. He tapped the device and a large flickering holographic screen projected upward, hovering right over a platter of half-eaten onion rings. The faces of the Council of Sonics appeared, but they didn't look like they were in crisis mode. Sad AM Sonic was leaning back in a lawn chair, while Modern Sonic was tossing a golden ring up and down.
Whoa, look at that spread. Are those chili fries I see? You guys are making us look bad over here. We're stuck with power rings and protein bars tonight.
Hey, is that the whole crew? What's up, Joey? Crystal? Zim? You still loud and annoying?
Zim leaped onto the table, nearly stepping in Regina's cider.
I am beyond your comprehension, holographic hedgehog!
My volume is a testament to my greatness.
Shadow chuckled, leaning into the frame with a grounded, lively grin.
He's as loud as ever, guys. We're just having a quiet dinner. Well, quiet by our standards.
Hefus Sonic appeared in the background of the projection, his eyes glowing softly.
We simply wanted to check in. The psychic resonance coming from your dimension felt balanced today. Much better than the storm we felt yesterday. You can say that again. We hit the arcade, Shadow broke a dance machine, and we've got these cool Leviathan scales now. We're officially unstoppable.
Marina waved at the screen.
Hi guys, we're taking care of them. Even Shadow is behaving himself today.
I'm right here, Marina, and I'm always well behaved when there's food involved.
Joey leaned in, holding up a fry.
You guys want me to mash this into the projector? Maybe it'll travel through the data stream?
That's not how it works, Joey. But seriously, you guys should see Shadow and Sonic together today. They're like a two-man comedy routine.
More like a two-man demolition derby.
Veronica added, laughing as she shared a milkshake with Jack. Silver floated his milkshake toward the screen.
Look, I got a golden chow. Shadow and Sonic won it for Anika.
Nice, good to see you guys actually relaxing for once. Emma, Regina, I hope you're keeping these troublemakers in line.
Emma raised her glass to the screen.
We're trying, but it's a full-time job, especially with Zim and Gur around.
Gur suddenly popped up in front of the link, staring wide-eyed at the holograms.
I love you television people!
Sad AM Sonic laughed.
We love you too, little robot guy. Anyway, we just wanted to see your faces. We're heading out on a scout mission, but we'll keep the channel open. Enjoy the fries, Movie Me. Don't eat them all in one bite.
No promises. Stay safe out there, Council.
The link flickered out, leaving the table feeling even warmer than before. Sonic looked around at the massive, mismatched group, the siblings he'd found, the friends who'd become family, and the town that had taken them in. Shadow nudged Sonic's shoulder, his voice warm.
Stop getting sentimental, Blue. You're letting your fries get cold.
Right. Priority 1, chili fries. Priority 2, world saving. In that order.
I think that's a fair rule for tonight.
The dinner is winding down into a night of stories and laughter. The walk back to the guest house was a chorus of laughter and the rhythmic clicking of sneakers on the pavement. The Storybrooke air was crisp, but nobody felt the chill. As they piled through the front door, the no-stress rule of the day transitioned seamlessly into maximum comfort mode. Maddie and Tom headed to the main house to let the kids have their space, while the guest house became a sea of blankets, pillows, and oversized beanbags. Sonic dived onto the main sofa and sliding across the cushions.
Dibs on the center spot. It's the optimal viewing angle for the cinematic masterpiece I'm about to select.
Shadow walked in right behind him, carrying a massive bowl of popcorn he'd snagged from the kitchen.
If that masterpiece involves a talking car or an 80-minute montage of explosions, I'm vetoing it, Sonic.
True to his usual self, Shadow didn't pick a solitary chair in the corner. He flopped down right next to Sonic, shoulder to shoulder, stretching his legs out onto the coffee table. He looked completely at home, grounded and lively, tossing a piece of popcorn into the air and catching it in his mouth with a smirk. Marina snuggled in on Shadow's other side, pulling a fuzzy blue blanket over all three of them.
Move over, boys. This is a 3-person heater system now.
Hey, make room for the rest of the band. Crystal, Jessica, grab those pillows.
I'm sitting by the window. Veronica, Jack, pass me that extra fleece blanket.
The floor was a chaotic puzzle of people. Silver was levitating slightly to find the perfect spot behind the couch, while Annika curled up in a giant pile of plushies, including her new golden chow. Zim was perched on the back of an armchair like a gargoyle, while Gur had somehow managed to fall asleep inside a discarded popcorn bucket.
This movie night better provide tactical information on Earthling weaknesses, or at least something with giant robots.
Gaz was sitting on a beanbag, eyes glued to her game.
Shut up, Zim. We're watching a comedy.
Sapphire was leaning against the wall with Dib.
I still don't get why the characters in these movies don't just use their comms to talk to each other. Half the plot is just a misunderstanding.
That's drama, Sapphire. It's a human specialty.
Sonic scrolled through the options.
Okay. We've got The Fast and the Furious Classic, or The Parent Trap? Who put that on the list?
Shadow nudged Sonic with his elbow, a playful glint in his eyes.
Probably Silver. He's a sucker for a reunion story. Just pick something with a good soundtrack, Blue. I want to see if the audio system in this house can handle it.
Midnight called out from where she was squeezed between Sally and Zero.
Play the one with the animated animals. The ghost dog in that one looks like Zero.
Zero barked happily, wagging his transparent tail and settling down right on Shadow's feet. Shadow didn't mind. He actually reached down and gave the ghost pup a quick pat, his expression warm and content. Sonic finally clicked play.
Alright, speed it is. It's got a bus, it's got Keanu, and it's got a ticking clock. Perfect for us.
As the opening credits rolled, the room fell into a comfortable, cozy hush. The only sounds were the crunching of popcorn and the occasional whispered joke. Shadow sat right in the thick of it, his arm resting on the back of the sofa behind Sonic and Marina, his protective gaze scanning the room one last time before he settled in. He was the center of the shield, enjoying every second of the noise. Shadow whispered to Sonic as the first action scene started.
5 rings says I could stop that bus faster than he can.
Sonic grinned.
No bit, Shads, no bit.
The credits for Speed began to crawl up the screen to the hum of a high-energy 90s soundtrack. The guest house was a battlefield of discarded popcorn kernels, tangled blankets, and snoring friends. The blue light of the TV flickered over the group, highlighting the peaceful, messy reality of their fun day success. Sonic stretched his arms over his head until his joints popped.
Okay, I gotta say, Keanu has moves, but he's got nothing on our internal clock. Who else thinks we could have cleared that bridge jump without even breaking a sweat?
Shadow remained firmly planted on the sofa, his shoulder still pressed against Sonic's.
The physics were questionable at best, Blue, but I'll give the humans credit for the drama. Though, I think Joey could have hot-wired that bus faster than the protagonist did.
Joey mumbled from a pile of pillows on the floor, half asleep.
I don't hotwire buses, Shadow. I only hotwire things with at least 6 cylinders and a spoiler.
Marina yawned and leaned her head back on the sofa cushions.
It was the perfect pick, Sonic. Just enough adrenaline to keep us awake, but not enough to trigger a hero instinct. Look at the casualties, though.
She gestured to the floor. Annika was fast asleep, her head resting on a snoring Zero's translucent flank, the golden chow clutched in her arms. Crystal and Jessica were slumped against each other like a house of cards, and Zim had finally fallen silent, slumped over the arm of the chair with Gur snoring loudly on his head. Silver, rubbing his eyes, his teal aura dim and sleepy.
I think I'm officially out of energy. My brain feels like it's made of cotton candy.
Shadow chuckled, his voice low and grounded.
Go to bed, Silver. That's an order from the ultimate life form. We've got a lot of training tomorrow to get used to the weight of those scales.
Silver nodded, stumbling toward the stairs with Veronica and Jack following suit, everyone whispering their goodnights to avoid waking the little ones. Sonic looked at the necklace around his neck, then back at Shadow.
Hey Shads, thanks for today, for the arcade, the basketball, and for, being the loudest one cheering when I almost tripped over that dance pad.
Shadow stood up, but reaching down to ruffle Sonic's quills with a smirk.
I wasn't cheering for you. I was laughing at you. There's a difference. But, you're welcome. It was a good day. One of the better ones.
Shadow didn't retreat to his own room immediately. He helped Marina gather up the stray blankets and made sure Zim and Gur weren't going to fall off the furniture in the middle of the night. He moved through the room with a protective, lively ease, checking the locks on the doors and windows not out of paranoia, but out of a grounded sense of duty to the people sleeping there. Sonic was watching him from the stairs.
You coming up?
In a minute. Just making sure the perimeter is set. Go on, get some sleep. You've got a big day of playing the hero tomorrow.
Sonic grinned.
You got it, Security Chief. See you in the morning.
As Sonic headed up, Shadow stood for a moment in the quiet, darkened living room. The only light came from the moon through the window, reflecting off the silver Leviathan scale on his chest. He felt the weight of it, not as a burden but as a promise kept. He wasn't the lonely figure in the GUN facility anymore. He was the anchor of a family that spanned dimensions.